fine, I'll go it alone. Just like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry.
Got the whole world in his hand. Hey, I'm just sitting here on my porch just looking. What am I looking at? I'm looking to the hills from whence cometh my help. For my help? Some of y'all know the rest. I just wanted to come on and just tell everybody, just be as calm as you can.
It's so awesome to be here. It's great. So let me start with you, sir. You've lived a life with the royal family. You've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard.
Something strange is happening in Montecito. The couple who once made global waves with every tell-all, every podcast episode, every carefully curated PR leak, has gone completely radio silent. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, the same duo who called silence a form of betrayal during their sit-down with Anderson Cooper, are now practicing what they once preached against. And what makes this silence even louder? It's who they're not talking about. Tyler Perry, the Hollywood billionaire who quite literally airlifted them out of royal life, handed them his private estate, and became godfather to their daughter, is facing a massive $260 million sexual misconduct lawsuit. And from Harry and Meghan, not even a whisper, no public support, no anonymous sources defending him to Page 6. Nothing. It's as if they've hit mute on the man who gave them a second act. For Harry and Meghan, Tyler Perry wasn't just a generous celebrity acquaintance, he was their escape plan. Back when their royal exit set off global shockwaves, Perry stepped in like a scene from one of his own movies. He offered them his multi-million-dollar Beverly Hills mansion. He sent a private jet to scoop them up from Canada when things got too hot to handle. And without ever having met them, he opened his gates, quite literally, to give them safety, privacy, and a soft place to land. That's not just kindness, that's chosen family. So when the man who cradled their post-royal brand is hit with serious allegations, you'd think the couple would say something, anything. Especially since Perry wasn't just their benefactor, he's the godfather to their daughter Lilibet, a role that in most circles comes with lifelong loyalty, but loyalty, it seems, is a one-way street in Montecito. The headlines hit hard. Tyler Perry, the media mogul known for building an empire on morality tales and family-first values, is now the target of a $260 million lawsuit filed by actor Derek Dixon. The accusations are serious sexual assault, harassment, emotional distress, and a pattern of abuse allegedly carried out during Dixon's time on Perry's hit series The Oval. Perry's legal team has fired back, calling the claims a blatant shakedown, and insisting there's no truth behind them. But regardless of the outcome, the damage is already bleeding into the court of public opinion. This isn't just a scandal, it's a firestorm threatening to burn through one of Hollywood's most carefully crafted reputations. And standing in the middle of the silence, the couple who once praised Perry as their protector. As the lawsuit escalates, Harry and Meghan's calculated absence becomes more glaring and more damning. For a couple that once turned public storytelling into a full-time profession, the quiet is deafening. Meghan has time to post curated lifestyle clips and tease fruit spreads with dramatic countdowns, but there's no energy left for the man who sheltered her when the palace gates closed. Even stranger Harry, who once said silence is betrayal, now seems content with letting the headlines swirl around his daughter's godfather without so much as a whisper of solidarity. This isn't just about public statements. The Sussexes are known for subtle leaks, carefully placed friends close to the couple, and coordinated sympathy drops. But here, nothing. Not even a quiet nudge of support to the press. It's a PR blackout that feels less like caution and more like calculation. And for a pair who built their entire second act on moral clarity and emotional truth, the selective silence is starting to look a lot like self-preservation. Harry has always tried to draw lines in the sand. That's their scandal, not mine. He did it with Prince Andrew when the Epstein connections came to light, distancing himself with vague statements about separation and independence. But in the public eye, it doesn't work that way. You are who you align with. And Tyler Perry wasn't just a Hollywood helper, he was handpicked to be godfather to Lilibet, a symbolic bond that goes far deeper than photo ops and free housing. This is the same Perry who helped rebrand Harry and Meghan as victims of palace cruelty, giving them both refuge and relevance. Their connection helped soften their fall from royal grace and build their new narrative. So for them to vanish now, as Perry fights off allegations that could taint everything he stands for, sends a message. One that's not just about optics, but about opportunism. When someone's proximity to power becomes a liability, the Sussexes don't rally, they retreat. While one of their closest allies is battling career-threatening allegations, Meghan is off softly launching fruit spread and teasing $30 bottles of rosé, all under the banner of joy. Her American Riviera orchard rollout feels more like a Pinterest board than a real business, with overpriced pantry goods dressed up in rustic tins and pastel aesthetics. And yet the branding says it all: curated perfection, zero controversy, and just enough exclusivity to keep the headlines coming. But the public is catching on. Critics aren't just asking about the silence around Perry, they're questioning the pattern. Meghan's entire rebrand is built around image, not substance. She's gone from podcast aspirations to product placements, trading royal obligations for affiliate links, and in the middle of this brand glow-up, radio silence toward the man who gave her the soft landing she's now monetizing. The louder the influencer persona gets, the more hollow the loyalty starts to sound. July 1st. It would have been Princess Diana's 64th birthday. A date that carries immense weight for royal watchers and especially for her youngest son. So when Meghan chose that exact day to roll out her rosé line, critics didn't see it as a coincidence. They saw a calculated move. This isn't the first time Meghan's announcements have landed on Diana-centric dates, and each one seems to spark the same reaction: emotional manipulation disguised as tribute. From fashion choices that mirror Diana's iconic looks to product launches shadowed by her legacy, it's become a pattern that feels more strategic than sentimental. The timing may be good for headlines, but it leaves a sour taste, especially when the product in question is a bottle of pink wine sold for triple the market price. Aligning with Diana's memory used to feel like reverence, now it reads like branding. And the public is starting to see through the tribute curtain, straight into the marketing machine. Once seen as rebels rewriting the rules of royalty, Harry and Meghan are now facing a very different kind of headline, one that reads more like burnout than breakthrough. Failed deals, high-profile staff exits, and a podcast empire that fizzled before it ever found its footing. Even their so-called sold-out product launches are being questioned. How much inventory was actually available? Are we being sold exclusivity or scarcity by design? The public isn't just losing interest, they're losing patience. The narrative of the underdog royals has morphed into something more corporate, more performative, and less believable. Add to that Meghan's luxury-priced pantry goods and Harry's recycled pleas for peace, and what you get is a brand that feels increasingly out of touch. Once people rooted for them, now many are simply exhausted. And in that fatigue lies the real danger: irrelevance. Because when the public stops caring about what you're selling, no PR strategy can save you. 2 years out. That's how far in advance Prince Harry is reportedly inviting his estranged father and brother to the next Invictus Games, an event rooted in military honour, but now tangled in royal drama. On the surface, it's framed as an olive branch, but behind the scenes, it reads more like a setup. Insiders say the invite will be sent later this month, but the leak has already hit the media, long before it reaches King Charles or Prince William. The message is clear: if they don't show, it won't be because they weren't asked, it'll be because they chose not to. It's a narrative trap, one that allows Harry to keep playing the role of the wronged son reaching out, while subtly painting the royals as cold and unfeeling. But real reconciliation doesn't start with a press leak. And when public perception becomes part of the pitch, it's hard to believe the intention was ever genuine, especially from someone who now treats vulnerability like a PR asset. At this point, it's no longer about royal titles or Hollywood deals, it's about credibility. The Sussex brand, once built on truth-telling and breaking free from outdated institutions, now feels weighed down by contradictions. They claim to fight for justice, yet go quiet when their own inner circle is under fire. They preach transparency, but operate through leaks and curated silence. They sell joy, but wrap it in inflated price tags and nostalgia they didn't earn. And as more former allies distance themselves, one question grows louder. What do Harry and Meghan stand for now, beyond themselves? Without the palace, without the spotlight, without the emotional capital of Diana's legacy, or the loyalty of friends like Tyler Perry, what's left? In a world that's moving faster than ever, the Sussexes may have built a brand too reliant on old headlines, and the public? They've already moved on.